these guys here from Kulturverket are very involved in the education of music through technology and technology through music. And I'm going to get them to tell you a little bit about what it is they do and how they do it. So, Hasse, and why.
Yeah, and why. This is really loud. I'm a kind of a loud guy. Okay, this is probably the most analog presentation during this Music Tech Fest. We're really back to basics here. But the basics are probably where do you get your creativity from? Where do you start? Even though you have all this machinery, you have all these computers, all these fantastic programs, you have to fill them with something. And I'm not sure that most of us, if someone tells us to create something and we're totally free, you can do whatever you want, just create. You're a free person and nothing is wrong, nothing. Most of the time, the first thing that's happened is you kind of lock yourself up, because if everything is, why should I choose this one or this one? Or so it's always really tricky to start. And we come from Kulturverket and we work a lot with kids in schools. And we have quite limited time. We have to start something really fast and get creativity going. And one of the really critical points is the starting point of this. If we want kids or young people to create something, or adults as well, we have to kind of get it going rather fast. And we have discovered a method that works quite well. I'm not sure if this laptop is possible to plug in, but basically we start with just 9 different words. If we get this going, I show it to you. I'm not sure why, but I'm really analog, as you see. Just give it a second. We have expertise going on. No. Yes, halfway it's going. It's really simple. We use kind of a matrix with just 9 squares. So it's nine different things we need to figure out. So let's, for example, say if we work with kids for a lot of the time we try to kind of integrate creativity into usual school subjects. That's a big issue in Sweden. Everyone is talking about this process where we should use art and things like that in the traditional subjects, as maths or geography or whatever. And it always sounds really nice, but it's really tricky to do it in real life. How do you use different art forms in geography, for example? But the basic idea of this is kind of this really simple matrix. You have 9 squares. You have A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and X, Y, Z. So the first thing we have to do is kind of pick out these 3 categories. What is A, what is B, what is C? And if we take a really simple example, if we work with kids starting in the Swedish language, for example, let's say that the big letters A, B, C are nouns. And 1, 2, 3 is adjectives, X, Y, Z is verbs, for example. So when we did this last time, the class we worked with had to discuss what 9 words are really important to you today as a teenager. So they had to figure out 3 nouns that were really important, and it was a great debate, of course, of what nouns they should pick. But in the end, they came up with 3 nouns, 3 verbs, and 3 adjectives, and so forth. And if you look at this, it's really simple. Every square has their own unique combination. So the A, of course, comes up 3 times, but it's never matched with exactly the same things. So if the A, for example, is a dog, the B is a policeman, and C is a whatever, helicopter. And then you mix that with the nouns, for example, running, peeing, laughing, whatever. And then their task was to kind of create stories based on this. So we created a really simple, no, that was not simple. This one maybe. No, you see, the digital is not my home. Where you can write in whatever you want. Let's try dog, car, man, blue, sad, ugly. Looks like a description of me, I see. So there's the running. And give me some example. Showing, for example. And then I generate this. Then you get these results. So these students had to write a story based on this. They should start with something with a dog, blue, and running. And of course, they can do whatever they want, but they have to have these 3 parameters in that, going on with that and so forth. And what you gain in this process, we found out, is that one of the problems in creativity, you have 2 problems: to start and to kind of get the form right. If you compose music, if you write a novel, if you do a painting, the form is always kind of a problem. It could be easy just to start, you get a good idea and suddenly you go there. But after a while, you kind of lose your grip often. So what this helps you to do is you have the form from the start, and you have to use your creativity to kind of figure out the story in this order. And one interesting thing is that most kids will try to break the boundaries. Okay, how do I get this man in the car laughing? You kind of try to stretch the boundaries, and that really triggers your creativity. So the funny thing is that they started out really, what is this? But when they started, they kind of, everyone got their stories together in a way. Because it's always a good thing to kind of be able to blame someone. If you're doing something really creative from zero, then you kind of, it's your artwork, and you're really responsible for it. It's really scary. If someone kind of says, what's that? It's really too close to you. But if you can blame that old fat man who gave you this stupid, you can always blame him and say, what could I do? I had this idiotic, so I tried to do it the best I could. So that's, in a way, could be a relief to start creativity, because you can, in a way, blame someone else. And you have to deal with this and figure out how you do it. And another interesting thing is that if you're in school, there's really a lot of right and wrong. You do your task, and then the teacher says, okay, that's right, oh no, that's wrong. So it's always right, wrong, right, wrong. In this context, everyone has the same kind of matrix, but of course, if you have 20 students writing on this, you get 20 different novels or whatever, stories, and everyone is right. Everyone has followed the right instructions, but the stories can go wherever they want to. We have tried this in text, we have tried it in music, because it's all a matter of what you put into this. In our example, we talked about nouns and adjectives and verbs and so forth. But of course, you can add totally different things. You can add music things or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The general idea that I got, when I got the idea, was when I read George Perec's Life a User's Manual, because he used the same kind of technique to make the structure for the whole novel. But he used 2 variables, not 3. And why I used 3 variables is because it gets a more solid statement. You get more information, and you can have so much more to rely on when you start writing. And I started to think in a new way. So I made the same thing, but on a Rubik's Cube. And the idea with the cube is to make all sides with 1 color each. But this cube is made the other way. So if you get all colors on one side, it's good. And this makes it possible to have 6 different types of arts going at the same time. The blue can be, for instance, arts. The purple could be film. The yellow, music. So the task for the student will be to actually do 1 small part in the arts and 1 small part from music. And you have 6 different ways of doing it. It's not, especially, it's not that complex. And I tried it with students at the School of Music here. And it was quite amazing to see the way they adapted to the ideas. It gives a lot of starting point and structures, and it's a kind of organized chaos, but it's their choice, and they made the choice by choosing one of the sides and said, okay, and then they looked into the table that I made for them, and so on.
Yeah, so it's basically a really simple idea. Anyone here probably would have be able to come up with the same thing. And it looks really, so what's this? But the funny thing is that the more we have worked with it, the more we have tried it in different aspects with photo, with film scripts and things like that. We seems to be onto something that just can kickstart creativity. Of course, this is not the holy grail. But it could be a fast way of getting something going in a group where maybe they are there as a school class. They have to be there. They don't come there of free will. They have to be there, and then you have to get them going in a way. And this has proven to be quite a good way of working. So that was the analog part of tonight. Okay, thank you.